Hi, this is Hossain, internal medicine resident at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School. I'm here with FITsOnTheGo live at ACC 2025. I'm here today with Dr. Stephen Nissen. Dr. Nissen is the Chief Academic Officer at the Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute at Cleveland Clinic. Dr. Nissen, thank you so much for joining us
And
today.
it's a pleasure. I always enjoy these.
Dr. Nissen just presented his trial, the ALPACA phase 2 trial of Lepodisiran, extended duration, small interfering RNA targeting lipoprotein A. Dr. Nissen, can you tell us more about your study?
Yes. Well, this was designed as a classical phase 2 dose finding study. And the most important question we really wanted to ask here was how much lowering could we get with each of the doses and how long would that lowering last? We studied doses from 16 through 400 milligrams with a placebo control in order to fully understand the effects of this quite unusual small interfering RNA.
Wow. And can you tell us about the study participants?
Yeah. These were generally some healthy, but had either cardiovascular risk factors or actually had ASCVD. They were at least 40 years of age, and they had to have a lipoprotein A concentration of greater than 175 nanomoles per liter. Good mixture of men and women, and generally they were well treated. Their LDLs were low. These were, well treated individuals.
Yeah. Your study comes at the heels of Lipoprotein A Awareness Day. Can you tell our audience why this molecule is so important?
Well, first of all, we have progressively been able to improve how these nucleic acid-based therapeutics effectively reduce target lipoproteins like lipoprotein A. And this one, because of its unusual structure, is highly effective and highly durable. And that is an advantage if these drugs work at reducing morbidity and mortality. To be able to give a drug infrequently will improve adherence, and we think it's an important advance.
What are the outcomes that you're looking at with this study?
So the key outcome was the primary endpoint of time average reduction in lipoprotein A from 60 to 180 days. And in that, using that endpoint, the 400 milligram dose given at baseline reduced levels over 60 to 180 days by 93.9%. So very, very effective reduction. And after 2 doses, the next 180 days was 95% reduction. So fundamentally, very, very high levels of effectiveness and a very durable effect.
Wow, that's quite a reduction and quite a sustained reduction in Lp(a). How would you say this small interfering RNA, this gene therapy, compares with others that are being studied currently?
Well, it's the most durable. It certainly is as effective or more effective at lowering lipoprotein A than anything else, and it can be given infrequently, so it's an advantage. But, as I said in the session, we have multiple drugs in development, and we need multiple drugs because we don't know what will work best. And my view of this is that having several drugs in development gives us the opportunity for several shots on goal. We want to get one of them in the back of the net.
When do you foresee, these drugs possibly coming to market?
So the first drug, the phase 3 trial, which I'm also leading, is with pelacarsen, which is the Novartis DNA-based antisense oligonucleotide. That trial will end in about a year. A year from now, we will have some answers. I hope the answer is that we can effectively help these patients. There are 64 million people in the United States that have an elevated lipoprotein A, and they're waiting for a therapy we've got to deliver.
Wow. And I hear 1 in 5 people
That's right.
suffer from elevated Lp(a).
That's right. Worldwide, it's 1.4 billion people. And interestingly enough, it's more common in Black individuals. And so it's a group that also is really needing treatment.
Why would you say clinicians and the general public should be more concerned about Lp(a)?
Because unfortunately, it's not being tested. The rates of testing are abysmal in America. And there are a lot of nihilists that say, well, we don't have a treatment yet, so why should I test for it? But what are we going to do when the drugs come to market? We don't know who has the disorder. And so everybody involved here has to know that people with strong family histories, people that have had a premature event, frankly, we have said and others have said that everybody should have this test done at least once in their lifetime, generally at a young age, in their 20s, so they know what they're up against and they can modify their lifestyle and their other treatments to reduce their risk. If you find out you've got an elevated lipoprotein(a) at age 22, then you might live your life a little differently.
If you find out you have an elevated Lp(a) at age 22, do you think that's when intervention should start?
Well, absolutely. And we do that. I have young patients. I have young patients with levels of over 500 nanomoles per liter. I have teenagers with levels over 500 nanomoles per liter. So what do? We make sure they keep their body weight down. We make sure they get off the couch and exercise. We make sure that their LDLs are treated to below 55 milligrams per deciliter. In certain cases, we will give aspirin. We don't usually do that for primary prevention. So absolutely, it's actionable. It's actionable now.
Dr. Nissen, thank you so much for this. This is a remarkable study, and I hope we can bring more awareness to your study, as well as to Lp(a).
Well, I think it's important that the fellows in training know about this, and in their practices, they begin identifying these patients.
For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/FITsOnTheGo.